Hi, I'm Randy Altman with postPerspective. We're here at NAB 2019. This is Simon Frost from AWS.
Hi.
Welcome.
Thank you.
It's day 3 of NAB.
I know.
So
we made
this is going to be interesting. Yeah. Why don't we? So obviously we cover post-production and production. Can you talk about cloud workflows for post and how you guys are enabling that?
Absolutely. So AWS in general is, helping all media companies across the whole supply chain, leverage the benefits of cloud. We really enhanced that a couple of years ago with the acquisition of ThinkBox, so AWS ThinkBox, which has provided us with the technology to allow post houses and the creatives to accelerate their capabilities around rendering, graphics and rendering, high-value productions. And at the show, what we're showing is how you can really spin up a whole studio in the cloud, and the ability to have creatives work almost anywhere in the globe and collaborate with low latency in real time in the creative production process using the tools.
Doing all sorts of the process? Are we talking editing, color grading? I mean, we visual effects and rendering, yes, but the other tools as well?
Yeah, absolutely. All of the key tools and collaborating around those. So, and it's proven extremely interesting at the show.
Okay. What else have you guys been up to? I mean, you're always introducing something new. You're always enabling these kind of workflows. What else can you talk about?
Well, as you say, a huge amount of features and a load that we've shown at the show. Something I'd like to call out and point out that I think would be interesting as well is a service that we launched recently called AWS Elemental Media Convert, which is a file-to-file transcoding service, completely serverless service, so you don't have to worry about the underlying infrastructure. It really is just loading in your files, choosing the output profiles that you want, and rendering and transcoding those into the formats for delivery. And one of the challenges some of our customers have had, particularly around 4K workflows and Ultra HD and using HEVC as well, is that's computationally really, really challenging.
Yeah.
So those transcode jobs are often taking a day or a day longer, and that's really impacting some of the workloads and the workflows and our customers' ability to respond and turn things quickly. So we launched at the show an accelerated transcoding feature in this, which now allows us to automatically split these jobs into multiple mini jobs, if you like, run those processes in parallel. And we're seeing up to a 25 times acceleration in the amount of time it takes to actually do that, or a reduction in time. So now, particularly for 4K and particularly for HEVC, those most complex ones, we're now able to do that faster than real time, which is great.
Does, depending on the format, does it take different times to transcode each format, like an IMF or that kind of stuff? What's more difficult?
Yeah, exactly. Well, I think it's spatial and temporal complexity, and also the algorithm you're using. So HEVC is one of the most complicated compression algorithm formats, so that's quite challenging.
Yeah.
4K, we've obviously got the greatest spatial resolution, so that makes it more challenging. So I would say that's the pinnacle. But if we're looking towards the future, perhaps 8K workflows in the future, or different compression schemes as well. AB1, for example, we're showing at the first time at NAB this year, and AB1 is computationally even more complicated. So all of that is adding to the complexity of these transcode jobs, particularly if you're looking to do distribution to multiple types of devices. So every job is different, but this new accelerated transcode feature is really reducing the time impact for our customers.
Sure. Now, are most of your customers big facilities, or are there smaller shops as well? Who's using it?
It's a complete mix. I mean, I think that's the thing that amazes me and really excites me in this space. I've been in the industry for over 20 years. And what's exciting is how many startups, if you look at just who is adopting the cloud and what the cloud is enabling, so many startups are now building tools, building capabilities, and giving features to customers that can do things in new ways. And we're seeing startups in the technology space. We're also seeing startups in the service provider space. So in Europe, you have people like DAZN. In the US, you have Fubo. Sports aggregators now. So people aggregating content in new OTT distribution. So it's just a really exciting time, a really exciting area. And I think the beauty of cloud is you're only paying for what you use when you need it. I mean, and that's the fundamental philosophy around the ability to shift to cloud. And I think for smaller organizations, that ability to not have to worry so much about CapEx cycles. If they want to try new things, or they want to, if they're going to bid for a new job, they're only going to pay for what they're going to use for that particular job. So I think that's really attractive.
Sure.
If you're a real large-scale enterprise, then I think what we're seeing is what cloud is allowing them to do is stop now thinking so much about managing their infrastructure. They've got a lot of infrastructure in a lot of different countries, typically, very large organizations, and harvest the time that people are spending managing something that doesn't really differentiate themselves from anyone else into the creative process and into that differentiation process, because it's becoming more challenging as new people enter the space all the time.
Sure.
We're always competing for eyeball times. We're always competing for those viewers, and I think cloud is enabling that innovation for people to really be better at what they should be better at, which is making amazing experiences and content and getting it out to fans and audiences.
Well, if our viewers wanted to find out more about AWS and how they could use it in post workflows, where can they go?
They can look up AWS ThinkBox, certainly, and look at the AWS website, which has got all the details. There's some great tutorials, there's some great get started guides, also some prepackaged solutions that they can start to build. So there's a whole load of great stuff there. And if they're still at the show and they're watching this, then come visit us at the booth.
Sure. Simon, thank you so much for coming by.
Thank you.
I appreciate it.
No.
Simon Frost from AWS. I'm Randy Altman from PostPerspective, and it's NAB 2019.